So I'm sure you're probably following the Ezra Klein situation. I see cancel culture happening and I don't like it. Now, I don't agree with what he said about Charlie Kirk, but I do agree with what he said about Democrats needing a big tent in order to win. And he talked about it on the New Yorker radio hour the other day. Um, he talked about how well Trump won the election. He didn't win in 2020 because he didn't have a big tent. He just relied on his base. But in 2024, he got smarter and realized, as ridiculous as that sounds, he got smarter and realized that he needed to get some Democrats to vote. The way he did that is by grabbing Chelsea Gabbard and, more importantly, grabbing RFK Jr., who had a lot of uh, Democratic whack jobs, the Jenny McCarthy anti-vax types behind him, and then between that and Charlie Kirk whipping the youth vote, he won. And I think Charlie Kirk's assistance is partially why Ezra said, that Charlie Kirk did politics the right way, though I don't agree with that statement, but Charlie Kirk did. So, he's entitled to his opinion. And I think a lot of liberals like myself love his show, love him, when he talks, but I just see a wave of people just sort of making him the enemy now on threads, on social media. And when I accuse them of cancel culture, they say nobody's canceling anyone. Well, it doesn't work that way. It starts slowly. And now I see people digging into his past saying, well, he had a private conversation where he, you know, said something bad about trans people. I didn't see that. I only saw them talking about it. So, I want to try and write up the list, like the stages of cancel culture. Because I think there are stages, but I don't know what they are yet. But I think it's like the first stage has got to be like, overreaction, then maybe digging up somebody's past, and then, contacting their employer. I don't know, but it's getting out of hand. We need to be a big tent party. Just answer me this question. If we're not a big tent party and we're purity driven by only the purest progressive causes, how do we win an election? Just tell me that. Explain it to me, because I have not seen anybody explain that. you know, how do you, and if you look at past elections, show me an election where somebody only won by narrowly attracting their base. Nobody has. The closest you could say is Reagan going after conservatives, but he got his people to vote for him. A wider group of people to vote for him. So anyway, I don't want to go past 3 minutes. Have a nice day, if that's what you're into.